Today I'm going to show you how to push this Node.js project, which I have by the way opened here and downloaded. It's going to be linked down in the description to Heroku. We're going to deploy and host it to Heroku, so later you would be able to access it on the internet anywhere in the world. And the first step is if you want to follow along with this project, Node.js project, you can download it here, or you can do the exact same thing in your own project. And we'll go inside our project in our server file. Mine is called index.js, yours can be called whatever you prefer. It can be called app.js, etc. And the first thing we need to do is change this port. So when we upload to Heroku is probably not going to use the port 3000, and we need to specify the port that Heroku will use. And that port is located on the process.env.PORT. But if for whatever reason if we want to run this locally, now I cannot because I don't have this port here. It's on the Heroku server, and that's why I'll say or the port 3000. So if this is not available, this project will run just on the port 3000. The second step is we need to add in our root directory here. We need to say right click and create new file, which we'll call just Procfile without any extension. And now we've created our Procfile, and Heroku says that you should create this profile and specify which file starts first, or how would you run your application, so Heroku knows what command to run. And you should say here, you would say web and say just Node. If you're running a Node.js project, you should say Node and the name of your server. In my case it's index.js, and say just index.js. And that's about preparing our project. That's all about preparing our project to upload to Heroku. And now is the third step. And the third step is to go to this page, basically to go to Heroku, log in, and we're going to want to create a new application by clicking here and saying create a new app. I'm going to call mine decision matrix, and just choose a region, or just say decision matrix app, and just choose a region. Mine is Europe, and click on create app. There's different deployment methods. I'm going to use the Heroku CLI method, and if you don't have already installed, the next step is to install this Heroku CLI. If I click here and go on this page, there's a really simple way to install it just by doing this. I'm not going to install it because I have already installed mine. And if you have installed, just copy this command because we need to log in into Heroku, and then go inside your project, paste it here in your current directory where your project is, and you should now press any key to open the browser to log in into Heroku. Just click login, and I'm logged in. The next step is to just deploy our application. And the thing in my project is, I will clear the console. I already have my project tracking with version control, actually with Git and GitHub. So I already have an existing GitHub repository. If you do not track your project with GitHub already, with Git and GitHub, then you should go in this step and initialize an empty Git repository. Of course, first of all, go inside your project, initialize, and then you can add this remote to your app so you can deploy it to Heroku. And then you should add all the files here in the staging area, then commit those files and push them to Heroku. If you just have an existing repository, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to simply add the Heroku remote to my app. And just to note, you can check all the remotes you have by just doing git remote -v. And here I have just one remote, and I want to copy this as I already did, paste it here, and now I have successfully added my Heroku remote. And now if I do again git remote v to see all of the remotes, I'm going to see I have another remote, which is this to Heroku. If we want to now deploy our app, I'm going to just say git push Heroku master. And if I do exactly that, I'm going to have all of my files and deploy it to Heroku. And guys, if you get error like this one where your remote pushing is rejected, what you can do is, to get a hint of what the problem is, you can go inside activity and then go in the build in which it failed and click on view build log, and this will get you a hint of what the problem is. For me it was as you can see, 2 different log files found. And also another thing I forgot to mention, which is another step, is go inside settings and you should click on add build pack and click on Node.js, which I forgot to mention. And after all of that is being done, you can go inside deploy and click on open app, and your app should open. Just kidding, mine doesn't work for whatever reason, but if you go to activity, you can see that my build was succeeded and I deployed my app to Heroku. Guys, so I fixed this problem where I got this application error, and the thing was, the solution was that I specified Node and just the name of my server file, index.js in this example. But actually what you should specify here is the relative path to your file and not just the name of the file. And as you can see here in my Procfile where I specify, the index.js is not in my root. It's actually, if you go inside this server folder, then you can access this index.js. So instead of specifying only index.js, I need to say something like dot for current, and this will get me into this root where this Procfile is, and say dash, and now say server to go inside this folder, and then I can access my index.js. And this is what the wrong relative path is what was causing this application error. And now if I go inside and now after you've actually done this, you should redo all of the steps, and by committing your files again, then pushing to Heroku, and then your build will be succeeded, and then you can open your app just like this without any errors.